The insect order Lepidoptera includes butterflies and moths, some of which feed on nectar and pollen produced by flowers. These insects have physiological adaptations to allow them to find, consume, and process nectar, and in some cases, pollen as well. Nectar is a liquid secreted by plants that is rich in sugar. It also contains proteins, lipids, amino acids, vitamins, and more. Nectar feeders use it for nourishment and build their diets around it. Pollen, on the other hand, is the male gamete disseminated by flowering plants, and it is composed of nitrogenous compounds and proteins. Only a few lepidopterans consume pollen, such as heliconius butterflies. Lepidopterans detect flowers to feed on mainly by sight using their compound eyes, but they also use sensilla on their antennae as chemoreceptors to smell out their food. They choose which flowers to feed on based on traits such as bloom size, morphology, and color. Some flowering plants produce odorant chemicals like acetic acid and phenylacetaldehyde that insects can recognize. These and other compounds often work together to attract moths and other nectar seekers so that they can pick out these scents and selectively choose flowers and express them. Lepidoptera consume pollen and nectar through the use of a proboscis. In most species, this takes the form of an extension of the galea and maxillary palps. The proboscis is flexible enough that it can be coiled. These coiling galea are interconnected and form a tubular structure by use of overlapping cuticular extensions called legulae. These lock with other legulae on the opposite galea. The proboscis begins feeding by uncoiling through hydraulic action of the contracting stipes, which forces hemolymph through the semi-elastic galea. The sucking motion is governed by contractions in the head cavity and dilations of the sucking chamber by the sebareal opener muscle. Nectar is then pumped through the extended proboscis and sucked through the cibarium and into the esophagus. Once the pollen is externally digested, the saliva is sucked back through the food canal, carrying the amino acids and other material with it. When pollen feeding, a special salivary pump creates a two-way flow of saliva through the food canal. This canal delivers saliva containing proteolytic enzymes down the proboscis, which help break down and extract amino acids from the pollen. Pollen feeding is believed to be derived from proboscis grooming, which all butterflies do to clean their proboscis and get rid of built-up pollen acquired from nectar feeding. As adults, lepidopterans who feed on nectar often show greater longevity and fecundity, as well as a lengthened oviposition period. Butterflies and moths represent a fascinating part of the natural world, and their feeding strategies and mechanisms are just one of the ways they react with their environment.